What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Podcast. I have a very special, beautiful, lovely guest with me today. So I'll let her introduce herself before we get to the podcast, and we know what's cooking. So tell the people your name and what you do before we proceed.
Hi guys, my name is on Instagram is Wangeci Ngare, but my actual names are Patricia Wangeci Ngare. I am very many things, but at the top of my list is I am a mother, a millennial mom, as I like to call myself. Mm-hmm. I am a business owner. I am a makeup artist and a student of law, and generally a student of life, because every day is about learning.
Something new every day.
Yeah, something new every day.
So, I came across your profile on Instagram, reached out to you.
Yeah.
Because, I normally look out for that long post alert.
Okay.
When I get that, I'm like, okay, I might get some content.
Yeah.
He seems to be an interesting person. And also, I just saw, your... From the post after I read the caption, I just went through your pictures and profiles. And then it's like you're just telling a story about motherhood and everything. Because, we have a lot of reckless young moms here in Nairobi.
Very true.
Yeah, who misguide each other somehow, or maybe want to look down upon others for being in that situation and things of the sort. But just hearing or seeing somebody talk so many positive things, bouncing back, then your fashion sense. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's really something that also stood out. It's recording. So that stood out as well. Yeah. So it's just a few things that, we can take the conversation around it. So, should we start with work, or should we just jump straight into long post alert?
Maybe, I don't know, get to know a bit more of me.
Before we go there?
Yeah.
Okay, so you said currently you're studying
law. Yes.
Law.
Yes.
How's that going?
Well, I took a break, but now I'm back.
Why?
I took a break to pursue business. I'm the type of person who wants to try...
Okay, to the mic.
I'm the type of person who would want to try all avenues. Yeah. Is that good, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm the type of person who wants to try all avenues. I'm not the type of person to follow the norm and just, do what everyone is doing. Yeah. So I took a break to pursue business.
Is it exhausting? Law? Because for you to take a break, maybe you just found it okay, no, we're good.
The thing is, ever since time immemorial, being in... are we good?
We're good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's just because the audio wasn't going in here, but I have the audio there. But
okay.
We're good.
Sawa.
But let me just have it, back up.
Yeah?
Yeah,
you know how you always have this set career path, growing up in primary school. Yeah. When I grow up, I want to be a lawyer. When I grow up, I want to be a doctor.
Pilot.
And you keep on telling your dad, me want to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
And your parents make a way, regardless of if it's para or job.
Yeah.
And I go to law school. But somewhere along the way, I figured that I'm an entrepreneur.
That's what you enjoy.
That's what I enjoy. I enjoy, linking up with people, new experiences, different people, the whole, I enjoy that so much. You can have
new experiences with criminals if you're a lawyer.
And that's my thing, because now I feel like I have a set base in the entrepreneurial world, if I should say. So I go back to law. The world is yours for the taking. Yeah. Do it all. Yeah.
I've just heard it's the hardest process is always Kenya School of Law.
Yes.
That's where people are always just saying it's a headache for everyone.
It is because I feel like the CLE is trying to kind of sieve the market with lawyers because there are so many.
It is.
Yes.
Oh, is it too saturated?
It is to some point. But I feel like if everyone is able to find their niche, it's okay, because people need to be represented. There are issues every day and things like that. Yeah.
What would you like to specialize in?
I'm a lover of public international law. That's things like refugee law, children rights, things like that. I enjoy things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad. But when you were still in school, are you back yet?
I'm back. Yes.
Oh, you're back
yes.
now. Okay. But how's that just balancing school and business? And even just with interaction with people who are in school.
Yeah.
Because you seem pretty... How I look at you, because I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Okay, let me hear.
I mean, seem pretty serious.
Do I? You know, that's the
Look
thing.
at you, like, do I? Oh, am I wrong? My
That's the
apologies
thing.
for
I think I come off, people say I come off as snobbish, a bit serious, but I am not. I am the complete opposite.
Really?
Once you get to know me, I am the goofiest person
You look like
ever.
a bit too serious, but I'm like, no. I mean, she just, at times you wouldn't know.
No.
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
I don't know if you were to have a conversation with my siblings, like I am
Yeah.
the least serious. Like I think I'm even the joker.
What?
Yeah.
What are the chances of that, man?
I know. Let's
'Cause you
keep this conversation going.
Because you wouldn't know, because, you know, you just keep this straight face.
Yeah.
But that's just, of course, as we've established, that's just a facade for
Yeah,
her.
it's a facade.
Yeah, so I was asking, like, just school-wise, interacting with other students, just being, now that you're also, like, just in motherhood as well.
Yes.
Of course, balancing motherhood, school, and business. What business are you running?
I have cosmetics that I sell, natural products, which is like black soap, shea butter, because I'm a very all-natural kind of person.
I don't even know what those things are, though. I've had.
Tuonane kando. You've heard about them, yeah?
Yeah, but I've had
You see,
too
I
many
feel like
times. But I'm like,
people
what?
are moving to more natural products, things that are not so over-processed and things like that. Because guys are tired of these brands. You know, you keep on using a product, nothing is happening for you.
Yeah, somebody
But-
was saying that about
yeah.
marketing. Like,
Yes.
they've sold the brand name so much that even when you're using the product, it just doesn't give you results, but you're
I
just
think the
buying
masses
it.
are now tired, you know. And I feel like with natural products, like it's something that's grown from the earth. So if it's to give you results, it's fast results and it's sure results.
The results are there.
Yes.
I saw you posting something on Instagram.
About my skin, yeah?
Yeah. So
that's one of the products that I sell. It's called black soap.
okay, I need some black soap from
You need some black soap, yeah? It's going to change your life.
How's my skin? Does it need...
It's good, but it could do better. You need SPF. It's good.
but I can do better.
Yes.
Okay, I'll get some... I
Sunscreen.
put...
Do you use sunscreen?
No.
You should.
And you know, I've just come from Mombasa.
You should. Let's protect this melanin.
Does it show that I
Just
was
a bit,
burnt
but it's
with the
not
sun?
so bad. You didn't use sunscreen, did you?
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
going wild, jumping
Sunscreen
from one.
is big. It's very important.
I just told that black people don't need...
Well,
Sunscreen.
we do, because, I mean, the sun here is not like what is, you know,
Yeah.
the UV rays are a bit harsh. And with this global warming and all those things, like what's happening in Australia.
I don't pay attention to
It's
so
so
many
sad.
things. So I don't.
But you know what's happening in Australia, yeah?
The natural fires and
Yes.
stuff. Yeah.
It's horrible.
Okay, come on. I do pay attention to what's happening in the news.
Yeah.
Okay, like, do pay? Yes. So, what was the next question before it? On that, like, just post, there's something somebody posted, like, I think online, and they were saying, like, how comes, from what I've noticed as well, like, I've dated some girls who've had, like, you know, like, for me, I don't really pay too much attention to my face. Not that I
Your
don't.
face,
Not that I don't. I just do the regular, like, just washing it up and apply some Vaseline and I'm out of the house. But I do know some girls who have, like, they do, what are they called? Morning routines.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of washing their face and everything. But if they don't have their makeup on, my face is slightly, like, better. My apologies. I'm not attacking anyone directly. I'm not attacking anyone. But yeah, my face seems to be like doing well than them. And they do use like all the products that are necessary, expensive products for that matter.
I feel like I was once that girl. Like if you read that post, for the longest time for me, makeup was a cover up. Like, because my skin wasn't as good. So in the beginning, my makeup was a cover up. But, you know, I made intent to make sure that I'm dealing with my skin first, such that I'm confident in my own skin, in me, and makeup is just a plus. Yeah, and that's what happens when you use my products.
You do leave the house without makeup at times?
Yes, I do. Like this is the first day of
What?
2020. having own makeup. I'm like, I'm meeting John, so let me.
Hey.
So let me go the extra mile. But
plus, that's part of your work. Do you have cosmetics?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
it's a
I'm
nice
launching
platform to
something, but it will be on my IG. I don't want to.
Or like makeup products with your brand name.
It's a website. Let me just keep it there. Let's keep it there.
Okay. Let's not jinx anything that's still in the works.
Anything.
So
yes.
You were saying
That's
like
my
it's not you use it as, or you don't use it as a cover up.
No, at this point in my life, it's not as a cover up. Like I can do without it. Yeah, I don't have to leave the house with makeup on my face.
And just being in the cosmetic industry, because now that's one of the things that I've seen.
It's really booming, yeah.
It's really booming.
Yes.
And women really do love like just experimenting with a lot of things. People are taking like photo shoots very seriously.
Exactly.
Like hey, your Instagram is fire though.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's fire.
It's just me though.
No, but I just saw like, like everything, how it's just laid out to pictures, everything. Like if it's something, if you're talking about makeup, somebody will actually look at it and be like, okay, makes sense, because we see how she's laid out everything and how it actually looks. So in that industry, how do you stand out from other people if that's the business you're getting into, and it's also like packed with so many other people who are also like just doing like kind of the same thing?
Okay. You see, there is the makeup artistry industry.
Yeah.
And there is the makeup, which is basically the cosmetics industry.
That's supplying?
Yes, supplying. Because most of the time the suppliers and the people who sell makeup online or have shops are not necessarily makeup artists. But there's some of them can't even do makeup, or even something as simple as doing their brows. But there's the other... but this is not bad.
Okay.
But there's the other part of it, which is the makeup artistry part, which is what I mainly am, a makeup artist. So the thing is setting out your niche.
Supply, and you also do the makeup, right? But
I'm mainly a makeup artist. So the thing with makeup artistry is setting your niche. What is different for you as a makeup artist? It's how you do your eyes, how you do your brows. In as much as you're providing a service, the experience the client has with you, things like that are what I think set you aside in the market. They're like, oh, that face, that's Makeup by Trisha, because my brand is Makeup by Trisha, but we are rebranding into the Glam Kitchen, because I think this makeup by is just becoming monotonous.
Like almost everyone is just
so I'm rebranding to the Glam Kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's you. Are you doing it independently or
yes,
with somebody?
Independently right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So
it never ends up well, especially if it's just two chicks doing it. They always break up, and
it's not even about two chicks, but just find somebody where you have a common understanding. And I think respect is at the topmost of it. With business partners, I feel like respect. You
have to set those ground.
Yes, you have to set those. And
have you tried working with someone and just?
Yes, I have. I have.
And
I have, I think, 2 people. They didn't end up so well. Yeah, as I can recall.
They didn't have the same passion, or just issues?
I also think I'm a control freak. Like,
are you?
Yes, I like things.
I can tell from your pictures.
And I can get a bit flustered if things are not like this.
But there's nothing wrong with just...
But not everyone appreciates that, you get.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a matter, like, you're just taking it too seriously.
Yeah, I'm like...
But are you more passionate about... So now, how is it going to pan out if you finish your law thing? Where do you think, like, your passion really...
You know what? Me, I say this. We have 24 hours in a day. Like, all the great people, the Bill Gates, the Beyoncés and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's just finding your routine, finding, the middle ground of how you're able to tackle everything.
You'll do both? So
I will do both. And if anything comes up, because I don't want to delve into fashion, I don't want to delve into styling, things like that. Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like, I won't say my age, I'm in my 20s, but I feel like your 20s is where you're allowed to experiment.
Say like, you said that at me. I would say, you don't you'll guess. Like I already told, I'm always telling people by then.
I'm not open about my age.
I'm always telling people, you don't have to, but I'm always telling people, how old do you think she is, guys? Now that's a part. Now we can cut on Instagram, and then they'll just put that.
I can tell you. I'd tell you guys. Not so.
You want to share it?
Would you guess? Let me ask you to guess. The cliche guess.
I can.
Guess.
20.
Wow, that's an insult. And compliment
Okay,
all
that-
in one. 20, don't
Now
get
listen, you
confused.
see, that's the thing. That's the worst game like a lady
Yeah,
can
it's the worst
ever
game,
tell
yeah.
you. Because if you choose too low, it's now an issue. But I'd rather choose too low than rather choose too high. And then you're
choose
like,
high.
what? What do you mean? No, we can let the people decide that.
They
You can
will
guess,
decide.
Let people guess that, and you can tell me off camera.
Yeah,
But let's just say 20s, right?
20s.
Yeah. So, you've said you'll just try and figure out like a format on how you can
Yes.
balance the two, right? Partnering with people or brands. Have you tried like just working with? Because if you're a makeup artist, like
Brands
I'm
have a
guessing you can
then-
choose either weddings or styling, fashion,
Yeah.
editorials for magazines.
Yeah.
Are there people that you've tried working with, or you're trying at least to lean towards a
Yes, you
certain?
see, the thing is, on social media, I present myself as two brands. I have Wangeci Ngare, who is the stylist, the millennial mom,
Yeah.
the fashion lover, the life enthusiast, and I have the Glam Kitchen, where is now the makeup, cosmetics, and all that.
New clients,
So
whatever.
with makeup, with the Glam Kitchen, I've worked with some companies. I don't know if I should mention them.
No, if you want, like,
I've
you
worked
can
with-
plug people
Yeah.
here if you want.
So I worked with Revlon. Last year I had like kind of an activation sort of thing
Yeah.
with Revlon Kenya. So I do videos putting on makeup on myself, on clients. When I was starting off, I worked with Joy Lips. They do lipsticks. And basically small brands and companies that will send me their products to try on. But those ones are not on remuneration basis. It's just my
Yeah.
products.
Yeah, test them out. If you
Test
want to
them,
share, it's
come
okay.
on
If you don't want
forward.
to,
Exactly. On Wangeci Ngare, I haven't worked with any big brand that wants to pay me, but now I'm having guys.
Are there some guys you're eyeing, maybe?
Yes, there are some that I am eyeing, but my whole thing is I want to be the brand that is searching for influencers. I'm that type of person because I've gotten so many requests. Oh, we're trying to launch this, we're trying to launch that, but I'm working towards a brand that is actually looking for people to, as opposed to me pitching things
Be
for
a boss.
yes.
Yeah, being a
Boss
boss.
mentality,
Yeah,
Don
yeah,
mentality.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what I'm working towards, as opposed to pitching for. I want people to pitch for me. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And just that's just like a whole. When makeup started taking off, like I think started
Give it
probably
5 years.
5.
No, maybe no.
I think like 2 years,
No, it can.
3.
Let's say 3.
It's just started like 3 years ago,
Let's say
right?
3. Yes.
And then now it's just super mainstream.
Yeah.
And what are some like of just like the obstacles that you've had to face? Because just like in any other business, it's never like just like smooth all the way. And people on Instagram just see
Yes.
the final artwork. They don't know what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But what's been hard for you before just getting to
With
a comfortable spot where you're
Yeah.
like, okay, this is what I'm doing.
with my
now.
makeup artistry and the business side of it.
Yeah.
In the beginning, the capital, because I started when I was like really new in the game. I didn't have a job prior to that, so I didn't have any sort of capital
An
or
8 to
anything
5?
like that. Sorry?
Do you have another job on top of another job?
I used to, but now it's just business. It's a business and school course.
What were
An
you
8
doing?
to 5. I've worked at Thika Low Courts. It was basically an internship.
Yeah.
I did a short time at NTSA. It was also an internship, but never,
NTSA. Shout out to NTSA.
never like a serious 8 to 5 like
Yeah,
employment contract kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah, so what was my question again before I jumped in on that? Now look at me. Or some of the challenges.
So the challenges. So the first one is the capital part of it. Then recently, as your brand as the brand has grown, I feel like you meet so many different kinds of people, and there's no blueprint on how to deal with people. People come with their different personalities, their different problems, their different issues. So trying to find a middle ground in dealing with some of those stubborn clients has been a problem,
Clients can be.
Yes, so
Headache.
that's what I've been trying to work on and work at, just having your policies, your contracts. Because recently I now have a makeup contract, or basically a service contract, which
You have to sign.
Yes.
You just have to
So
sign.
you'll send it to a client and they're like, "Ay, For makeup. Na sign contract ya nini? You know.
Kenyans can be stubborn by there. It's like just sign so that we both protect each other.
Exactly.
We know everybody knows what we want.
So last time I'm sending a contract, and the fact that you send them a contract, they overlook you. I'm like, you know what? It's good. Because maybe you are to give me a hard time.
Because eventually that's where it was going to go.
Yeah.
Because if somebody's buying like a contract,
but you just have to constantly keep your head high, be focused, be unwavering. If this is how you carry out your business, carry out like that. Do not change anything because of someone or for the gain, because you're looking at the bigger picture. 5 years from now, 6 years from now, learn from mistakes, take criticism, take what you can from it. Don't fight. Those are things that I'm actually learning in the business.
It's all baby steps.
Baby steps.
And have you had any clients that you've had issues with payment? You know,
there's one now. If you see this. There's one now, but not so much. Not so much. There's some you'll have to, and most of the time it's the like bigger clients. I don't know why.
But it's true. The clients, like, you know, those people are like, is money a problem? You think money is a problem to me?
Shadow Mado, what will you do?
Those people will give you a run around with that money. But I just don't know. And that's where, like, now you see things like contracts, having rate cards, all those things now filter out, like the clients who are just not serious with what they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, and
also let me add that when you have things like trade cards and contracts, it also sieves out your clientele. Of
course.
Yeah. It's the serious ones. It's the ones that will pay. They won't give you a hard time.
You stop getting those random phone calls.
Exactly.
How much do you think it can take?
I'm like, hi, you like, can I send you my contract and my rate card? You read it, you're not feeling it?
Yeah. You already know that.
There are some who, like, they go scan it, they sign it, and they send it back to me. I'm like, you know what?
This is somebody I want to work with. Because
at the end of the day, you want your peace of mind as a business person, as an entrepreneur. You want you want to know that this amount is in my account. And I mean, I am a mom. There are things that I can't.
Yeah. No, especially like for you wouldn't want to,
Yeah.
I mean, you have responsibilities, right?
You do.
Yeah, you do have responsibilities. You just don't want somebody to play around with that money. Everything goes to budget.
Yes.
And the same way the money is coming in, you have to know how it's going out.
Exactly.
Just on makeup again, what was the other question that I had in mind? Man, my chain of thought just keeps flying out.
Why?
When I jump from one side, I come back to this other side. It was just still on the hardships. One, you said contracts, it's important. Money, and two, how do you get like your clientele? Is it easy to build a clientele base in that industry?
Luckily, I was able to build my clientele from my main social media handle, which is Wangeci Ngare. Yeah, because I'm a makeup lover. Like, personally, I like makeup. I'll do it on myself. So I was able to grow clientele from there. Yeah. So I eventually opened this other page.
Oh, that's like branding.
Yes. So that helped a whole lot, and also word of mouth. I just also, the grace of God, like, He's blessed me enough to, put me out there and things like that. Because at the end of the day, it's all about, it trickles down to God, yeah?
True.
Very true.
Some people, there's some people I've had on the podcast who don't believe in God, so I don't know what
everyone is, we are so many on this.
Yeah.
But for me,
for you.
For me, I'd
it's also
attest to that.
So are you spiritual or religious? How would you tell me?
Spiritual as opposed to religious.
Yeah.
Yes. They're different.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you wouldn't want, when people start having that conversation, those people just get too heated when somebody else is saying, like, this is what I believe in.
Because if it's getting too heated, it means it's hitting a point with you, It's bugging. There's a soft spot, it's hitting. Why is it bugging you?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. Makeup, who are the people that you'd say maybe just influenced
me?
Yeah.
Back in the day, like, even when I was in uni, first year, second year, I was on YouTube a lot. Like, I'd been in class or something, I'd go on YouTube. So there are some bloggers from way back in the day.
Kenyans?
Not Kenyans.
Oh, wow, I scared that.
No, by this thing now, buyer. No.
They're just not good enough to
influence you. It's not about not
you.
being good enough, but at that point in time, the Kenyan market or the Kenyan scene with makeup hadn't grown so much
Or just
so-
savages. They didn't
I
know
mean,
how
there
to
are
deal
people
with.
like Modoni Njomba. Let me mention Modoni Njomba because she's amazing. Her art, that's somebody I looked up to for a long, long time, even like back in the day. People like Washuka, because these are dons in the makeup
Yeah.
industry. Yeah, these are people who've been there for like forever,
Have you gotten a chance to interact with them or just
I've
link up
interacted with
somewhere?
Washuka, but with Modoni, but back in the day. Yeah.
Do you think like you do collabs? I haven't seen you do like collabs and such
I
things.
think it's that thing of you saying I look stuck up and like so
Oh yeah.
new.
Somebody just look at
Now I'm thinking,
Like, hey, this
I'm
one.
thinking about it. I'm like, maybe that's why I follow.
yeah, and just like, hey, this one.
But no, let me tell you something. I've started being more like I've started showing more of my personality, like on my Instagram stories. Like, if somebody's on my stories, like I'm really goofy. I'm
So I was
not
trying
as
to look for
stuck up.
videos. I'm like, okay, what kind of person is she?
I
I'm
think
just seeing the
I'll
pictures
try
and I'm like,
do more of that in 2020.
and like Pierre, your pictures are like just those serious faces. You're just
Yeah.
not smiling or anything. Other pictures are good, but
Yeah.
somebody can't really tell
Okay,
anything. But actually, putting out your personality out there, that's what
it helps. It's a plus.
it's a plus because people stand now leaning towards like, hey, by there I'd like to.
Yeah,
So you haven't tried any collabs? Would you like to?
I would. I'm open
Really?
to anything. 2020 is a year where it's my year.
Hey, let's speak it into
Let us
existence.
speak it into existence.
So now makeup industry. What else is just outstanding, like just in the Kenyan market that you'd want to achieve?
Creating my own brand. There are a lot of Kenyan brands. There are a lot of influencers taking the step
Yeah,
to creating their own brands. Yeah.
like makeup lines and stuff.
Yes. I'd want to do that eventually.
Like which ones? Like Akina Jonah
Yes,
Kinuthia,
exactly.
Huda,
Yes.
Caroline
I think that's
Matuko
a
is
good
doing
step.
something with
Pauline Cosmetics.
Pauline Cosmetics.
I think it's a good step towards.
Because at least now we're just making, like you said, like even just buying brands that have been overhyped
Yeah.
when you can still do it for ourselves and
For
start even
ourselves.
selling like
And making it even-
internationally, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I think we can bounce back to makeup anytime during this conversation. I mean,
Yeah.
So let's just go to the long post alert. The post that I saw on Instagram, you're just talking about what you went through, motherhood. I think when you first got your kid. She's a girl or a
She's
boy?
a girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank God. Phew. At times I'm like, I don't. But you've never posted her on Instagram.
I previously did.
You did?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know. Towards the end of the year, I just thought about it
Yeah.
and archived all her pictures, but they're still there. I don't know.
Why do you think it's because I've seen the people who like sharing, some people just don't like sharing.
I just felt like to some point I was oversharing, but then you go through phases and. So for now I'm at that phase where I'm so overprotective of her, but I'm very vocal about the whole motherhood experience. I do post on my stories.
Yeah.
I do give ladies advice here and there about motherhood and things like that. But even with my captions on my posts, I allude to the fact that I am a mother. It's something that's very present with me.
Was it something that you prepped or look at your face?
Oops.
Look at your
Oops.
Look at your face.
No, let's just be real.
I wouldn't know. That's why I'm asking.
Okay. No.
Was it hard? Because people just when somebody hasn't experienced something like for me, I'm a guy, I wouldn't know what that experience is like. But just even from your captions, it's just there's so many things that you've shared. I saw a picture of you. You shared that before of you, you're just in bed. You seemed very frustrated. I don't know who took that picture because you must have had.
It was my daughter's dad.
Oh, because you just seemed like you're just going
Over
through it.
yeah.
You just seemed like you're going through it, and then there's another picture now. You're just bounced back,
Yeah.
happy, proud, and everything. So, but just how is that experience from somebody who's this is happening for the first time? Because I've just told you, I've just interviewed a virgin on my podcast.
Yeah.
So hey.
So first off, I'll start by saying I got pregnant when I was, I'd say, pretty young. I know there's no blueprint to the time you should have a baby and all that, but I felt like for me, And the life plan I had set up in my head, I was young. I was 23 when I got pregnant. I mean, I wanted, the write-ups you have on your little sticky notes. I wanted to have get pregnant
achieve
at
all
30,
these
to get
things.
married at 30, get married at 32, when I felt I'd have, financial freedom and, things like that. So I ended up getting pregnant at 23.
What? You got pregnant without getting married?
Yes.
How dare you?
Mimi, by the way.
No, I'm just saying,
like
it's actually really far-fetched
to some
from
point
what you had written
I am
down,
kind
right?
my nature is kind of rebellious. I think I tend to go against the norm. Just to see what will happen.
Okay, yeah.
My nature, I've come to realize that my nature is rebellious.
Going against the grain.
Yes, and seeing what happens. Yeah. So I got pregnant at 23. It wasn't the best of experiences, especially coming from a very strict and religious Presbyterian home.
Oh Lord.
And my dad raised us. He raised us in Kikuyu, taratara, with protocol.
Yeah, like what you're supposed to do. Do not fall out of line.
Yes, do not fall out of line. So, but I won't lie to you, I am pro-choice. When I found out I was pregnant, I knew, I have options.
Yeah.
But I felt, something in me just was like, I'm going to have this baby and I'm going to make it work and I'm going to make it happen. Because there was so much, I don't know whether to call it adversity, but there was a lot happening on the sidelines when I was pregnant. So it wasn't the easiest of pregnancies. In as much as my pictures I look, it wasn't the easiest. But with my family support, my sisters, my brother, and just
your dad wasn't upset.
He was very, very upset. But he has come to accept it, like they all do eventually.
No, but like parents, of course, that's a shock to them. But once they see that kid, they hold the kid in their arms.
It was, I think for my dad, it was an extreme shock because I have older sisters, like way older, like 8 years older, like, they don't have kids, or
they're still like just focused on career and everything.
Things like that.
Here you are.
And here I am.
Surprising everyone in the house.
It was a hard time for me, It was very, very hard, but and also my daughter's dad really helped with like keeping me grounded.
That's good.
He was really there, and I'm grateful for that.
Because most of the stories I get, like on the
Kenyan
podcasts, most
the minute they hear you have Bele now.
So there was somebody sent something here on WhatsApp. I hope it's not too far. I swear, where is it? Let me just show you. Come on. Just when I need to show you. Okay, let me just. I don't know whether I'll show it on the screen. Look at this.
Lol, I missed my period last week. Oh, he's
already disappeared.
He's disappearing into the abyss.
But how do you break up the news to? So you knew first. How do you break up the story to? Of course, first of all, like your boyfriend then.
Like him, I told him.
Was he shocked?
He wasn't shocked because for him
he was
felt
like, yes.
There's a point in his life where
if you like, if it's somebody you like, guys, at times you're like,
yeah.
And at times, even if you don't want to show that joy, because you might celebrate, and then she's like, so this is what you wanted. So at times you just say like yes, and then you just keep it to your heart.
He's a mature individual.
Yeah.
So he was, we're going to deal with it as it comes.
Okay.
For my sisters, I told them, like I sent them texts. They were like, you must be joking. What is wrong with you? No, what is wrong with you, Wangeci? What is wrong? Like, nini unataka?
Yeah.
My dad, I didn't tell him directly. I figured because I've told my sisters.
They'll tell him.
So, like, I remember there's a picture I first posted on my IG.
Yeah.
I was wearing a blue dress. And I thought I just looked bloated. Kumbe.
It's already showing.
Yeah, so like 30 minutes later, I'm seeing so many congratulations messages. I'm like,
Screenshots are going around already.
So, somebody took a screenshot, somebody's daughter took a screenshot, who sent it to their mom, who sent it to my mom. So, it just started from there.
But how does that conversation go with either dad? Like your mom or dad?
I never actually had that conversation with my dad.
Never?
Till
today, have you ever like sat down with him and just no? You should.
Because at that point I wasn't living at home in my parents' home.
Yeah.
So I'd always try evade, because I was the type of person who would evade situations. I wouldn't deal with things at face value. But now it's not the same, because I am not a person for confrontation. So I felt like it would lead, because I'm a very passionate person. So it had just led to some sort of, and I wanted my head right.
Yeah.
So the person who actually told my dad was my daughter's dad, like my daughter's father. He reached out to my dad. Hi. Oh, he's 1 in a million.
That's a brave guy.
It's very brave, eh?
Excuse me, sir. I think I
am the one responsible. My dad took that so, like, he welcomed it so much.
I'm sure he respected him.
He respected him so much, because he's the one who called my dad. Hey, Baba Wangeci, let's meet up for coffee. I want to talk to you. I'm there.
No, I'm sending you a text. We're not meeting for coffee. I'm body slammed here in a restaurant in front of people.
So they had a conversation.
Yeah.
And at that point, he was kind of the middle person between my dad
and you
and me.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fast forward to that. I have 9 months later, I have my baby. I unfortunately had a tear.
What's that?
I don't know if you've been following. Am I allowed to say names? Chantel's story, where she had a 3rd-degree tear from coptic, which turned into a fistula.
Yeah.
So when I had my baby, I had that tear.
Okay, I think.
So there are different kinds of tears there. There's episiotomy, or episiotomy. 1st degree, 2nd degree, 3rd, and 4th. Episiotomy is when you're during natural labor, and a woman is, ready to push, and the doctors have to make sort of a tear on the perineum. I hope I'm calling it right. Yeah, perineum.
I'm just saying yes, but because I understand what you're saying, but I don't know the term.
That hole,
that
barabara.
Yeah.
So they make a cut so the baby can come
actually
out
come out. Yeah.
And now the tears is when maybe they make the small cut, but the tear, runs through.
Yeah.
So the 1st and 2nd are not as serious. They're just on the perineum. But the 3rd degree, which is what I had, is when the tear goes into the sphincter muscles.
It kind of extends.
And it's almost at the rectal muscles. Now the 4th degree is when the whole area is open. Your sphincter is open, your rectum, for a scientific word, your vagina and your...
It's one.
Is one.
Yeah.
It's one big hole.
So, someone told... Okay, I'll let you finish. Don't forget that chain of story. Because somebody told me about... which tribe is it? Like they actually intentionally do something close to that so that they can give birth to more kids. Yeah, I'm not sure because I don't want to be attacked by anyone.
I know of missions that usually are in Samburu and areas like that, where doctors go fix fistulas. Where basically, because of the lack of maybe proper healthcare, the women in those areas give birth in their houses. Yeah, and if you happen to give birth and have a tear, they won't know how to fix it. So a 1st and 2nd degree tear can develop into a fistula. So what happens with the fistula is where, there is no...
The fistula is the 4th degree of that?
No, the fistula is now when, everything is open. It's not just a big hole, a big wound. Like there is no... Such that, for lack of a better word, you cannot urinate and, use the back. It's all one. It comes out the same. And it's horrid. Women go through so much.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's usually... an identification is where when you pee, it actually looks like porridge. That's how bad it gets.
And I can only imagine this is like your first childbirth.
Yes. So what happened? I remember after giving birth, I pushed. It was a natural birth. So my daughter's dad is a medic. He works. When he was around, he worked at Aga Khan, the maternal care unit.
That's where he worked?
Yes.
Aren't
so
you
he knew, he knew, he didn't help me. He was there as, just emotional support.
But it's good to have a doctor who knows.
He could tell something was wrong after the baby came out. So the nurse looks at me, she goes out, she calls the head nurse, she looks at me. Mind you, my legs are like... for the world to see. I'm telling you, giving birth is just... It takes your dignity somewhere else. Yani,
because these people have to make sure you're good. You have to be...
So now they ended up calling the head gynecologist who comes into the room is like, take her to theatre immediately. So we are not understanding what's happening.
They haven't told you anything.
No, so when
yet.
we get there, is when he tells me, I didn't even get a chance to hold my baby. Is when they tell me you have a 3rd-degree tear, and we are going to fix it. They didn't tell me mambo more because
they
wanted
explain to you what it is.
No,
or
in that moment they did not
don't.
explain because they just wanted to fix it. So I had an epidural through my back.
That's the...
Yes, it's sort of a numbing, like anesthesia kind of a thing. So they made me numb from my waist down. They did the surgery. They stitched up everything. And
so what are you feeling when you're being rushed there? Do you feel pain? Are you...
When I was being rushed to the theatre, whatnot?
Yeah.
At that point, it's confusion. First of all, this is my first baby. I've just pushed out my baby.
Yeah, because
I was so
like
confused.
this is done already.
Like I was so confused. Like
What's
it was almost an
what's
out of body
experience.
Like? It's almost out of body because the fact that I'm a control freak and in this moment I have no control of what is happening. I am being rushed from here to here to here to here.
And people are making decisions for you.
Exactly. So I had so apparently if tears are not mended immediately like mine is when they develop into these fistulas and all those horrid things.
Oh, so
that
it has
Chantel,
like...
For example, Chantel experienced.
She wasn't treated immediately.
They didn't treat it correctly. So her tear ended up being a fistula.
But they still fixed it, but they didn't do it correctly.
Yes. Because you see, with a 3rd-degree tear, the tear is from inside, the muscle. It's not...
We're talking of first is smaller, second is bigger.
First is just on the skin, per se.
Oh,
but the 3rd and 4th go all the way into the muscle, the sphincter muscle, the rectal muscle, so they tear all that.
Oh man.
Yeah? Your little person tears all that. So if this muscles and these tears are not mended immediately, is when they develop into these fistulas and they give you problem with future births and things like that.
Man. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm just trying to picture it like from... Okay, I can't picture it as a woman, of course. That's just ridiculous. But are there things... Because now I think just having gone through that experience, is there something that like a lady, woman, girl is supposed to do to avoid such situations? Or this is just not something that you can control? It happens to women.
Okay, by the book, there are actually things that women can do. There are perineal massages. They're apparently saying having a lot of being sexually active during your pregnancy helps with stretching it out.
Really?
Yes, they say that.
Hey guys, you hear that?
When joto.
Okay, actually does help.
Yes, it does help because it helps with stretching out and preparing.
So you did not want to...
I didn't want anyone near me. Breathing near me.
Don't touch me.
Looking even at me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, because I hear like there are some who have like a high sexual drive during that time.
But
there's some.
I was just not about that. So that helps. Then the perineal massages. There are certain exercises that you can do. There are things like that by the book. But you know what? At the end of the day, you will go on that table and you will not know what will happen. You know. Anything
just
can happen. Some people are going to say CS. Some people are going to, all these things. So you don't know what will happen. But there are things you can do to apparently, and also the healthcare, how they support you when you're giving birth, especially naturally, can affect,
the expertise of the people who are there.
If it's a nurse, if it's a guy, there's how they're meant to support you, push slowly so there's no force on you.
How many people normally... I've never been in that situation. I just see it on TV. Yeah. How many people ideally are in the room? It
depends. I mean, there are some... It depends on the hospital policy.
Like a standard, is there somebody to...
And also the person. There's a hospital standard that maybe says, you can't have more than maybe 2 family members or 2 registered nurses or things like that. And then there's also the person, for example, the mother. I just want to have my, my husband, my mother. Yeah.
I don't know if I can be in that room though. I just had people it's good to be there, but was he there?
He was. He saw everything.
If he... Wait, he was on the other side, not even holding your hand?
No, you see, even when you're laying on the bed and
Lord.
Let me tell you this. When you see people walking around here, they are super women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And would you have been upset if he wasn't in that room? If he
At
told
that
you
point,
like, if he told you
maybe
like,
later,
okay, babe, by there, I
but then
can't handle it.
later ndio ningefikiria na mtu mbona kwa hapo. But at that moment me I wouldn't have
Oh, you
cared,
just
even
wanted
if he
to
was
go
in
through.
Timbuktu.
Yeah.
Me, I just wanted the baby out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But is it important to you
It is.
now that you've already gone through that?
It is
You appreciate it
for
more?
memory's sake.
Yeah.
You'll be, oh, he was in the room with me. Yeah, for memory's sake and for just that sentimental value kind of thing. Yeah.
Does it take time to like now just recoup after you go through that procedure? Because now actually it's
Yes,
like
the healing
they
is
stitch
brutal.
you.
Yeah, they stitch you.
Yeah.
You know, they stitch from inside.
Yeah, the healing is brutal.
If I knew geography, I would. Is it rift or craters or what? I'd compare it to something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That healing process that you're saying it's brutal in what sense?
the pain.
Just healing because it's internal, right?
You curse the act. That act, is it forbidden? No, it's not forbidden because wanasemanga hiyo twatwa mchezo wa.
Yeah.
You curse that act. You hate it. You loathe it. You're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Never again. Yeah,
I'm never having sex
having
again.
sex ever
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
I'm a virgin. I'm secondary virginity.
Man, no.
I am never going to engage in this foul act.
Ever
It's not even
again.
foul.
You just don't want to picture
You just go
yourself.
through so many emotions, so many different stages of emotions, especially if you have, because I know this happens to women who have tears in cesarean section.
Yeah.
You go through a lot of stages of acceptance. Before acceptance is the denial. Before denial, you keep on asking questions. If I did this, would have this happened? If I didn't do this, what did I do wrong? And that's something I'd tell ladies to don't think about it. Don't think of the what ifs or what if I didn't or what, because that can mess you. That's what leads to that depression, that real postpartum depression,
and
that overthinking.
And a lot of people, like I hear, like from just couples, like that's where at times the hubby or baby daddy and the baby mommy like just lose their connection. I hear if you guys stick through that, I hear now you're good. But I hear that's always like one of the hardest thing to go through, like just together, because here you are, like you're saying, you don't even want to see this guy, like for now.
Yes. You legit don't want to see him.
And Pierre, like now you just start embracing and showing love to like this kid.
Yeah.
When like a few months ago
it's very, very
giving
hard.
this guy like 100%.
That's why there are things like in law, there are things we learn like infanticide. Infanticide is a crime of whereby after giving birth, and when the mother is not in the correct state of mind, they end up killing the child. It's actually a crime. It's called infanticide. So things like that happen.
Like she's psychologically just traumatized.
After you have, your body goes through so much. Like people underrate.
But if you've already had
process.
the kid, why would you?
For some ladies,
it's a common thing.
Not everyone is emotionally equipped the same. Some of us are stronger, some of us are weaker. I know I'm strong. I know I'm really strong. There are some who are stronger, there are some who are weaker. There are some who,
It's not because of the honey.
Somebody's sweet here, clearly. So
there's some who are equipped.
Not everyone is emotionally equipped the same to deal with situations. People act out differently.
Come on.
Oh no.
Just chill. Who's bigger, you or the bee?
Me, yeah?
Yeah. We can't just be here, two people, we're screaming because of a bee.
So, So the experience is different for everyone. There are people who, that's why people end up adopting their kids and things like that, because they're like, this is what brought me all this pain.
Yeah, like, hey, me, I'm not doing this again.
Yeah, so it's motherhood is just a different experience.
And then, so now, after that, because, I think you're the only one I've talked to about that, because you expressed that on your IG. So I was like, okay, this is a nice segue to just have a conversation with somebody about this. Because you see, even when you mention something like the tear, what could lead to fistula, but that fistula thing can be treated, right? It's not like
it's treated,
it
but the
can
healing
get
process,
to a point
like
where
yes, it is treatable. But the healing process, and before, our body, what I say is, the human body is very forgiving. Yeah, you will heal very fast, but emotionally, psychologically, it lasts.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
The body is very strong, very forgiving.
I'm sure like even
You know.
getting intimate with somebody after that,
Yo.
you'd be like, what? I cannot do this.
Yeah, like for me, I thought, what, me, that part of my life is done.
Serious?
No
You're like,
more.
I'm not doing it again.
Nice, no. I'll even become a nun. What are you telling me?
Okay, there's another post now you posted, and this is like you're saying, okay, after giving birth, and then I think what your body is going through and how you bounce back from
Yes,
that.
the bounce back.
Because you're already used to your body being a certain way. Because even you're at 23, I guess your body is like completely different.
Yes.
And now your body is forced to be in a certain way, and you want to be back where your body was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how was that, like, even for you? Because I think you posted, like, an
Yeah.
and then the bounce back picture, which was fire, of course.
So the whole aspect of bouncing back, first of all, is something that any woman should be put. No woman should have that pressure of having to think about, and
Yeah, we're
are we
good.
okay?
Yeah, we're good.
No woman should have that pressure of bouncing back
Mm-hmm.
after giving birth. Experience everything, and once you experience everything, is when things will just fall into place.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? You see, the problem is we live in an era where social media dictates so much of how we think, how we do things, how we look at ourselves in the mirror, and that's a problem. Yeah, there's so many pictures of mummies. 1 month later, she's in a bodycon dress, she's in heels, she's in the club. Another somewhere 2 months later, she's on a beach in a bikini. Some of these things are unreal. I won't even lie to you.
But it makes no sense.
It makes
Mpaka you are
sense.
like, what?
Okay,
How
fine.
is
You
this
know
even
what?
possible?
No, let's just put it like this.
Yeah.
Fine, maybe that's happened for her, but you have to understand, it may not happen for you. We're different. You understand?
Yeah.
We're different. And the whole thing is just taking...
Someone's journey is completely...
someone's
and they
journey
might
is
be
different.
battling their own things.
The thing is just taking everything as it comes. Because I feel if you don't fight nature, that fighting nature is what messes up everything. It messes up with your mental, causes depression and things like that. Just make sure you're healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you're eating right. If you're breastfeeding your baby, don't hold back from eating. Have a balanced diet. Don't
Eat,
overeat.
because you also have to provide money for your kid.
Yes. I feel like for the first 6 months after giving birth, your concentration should be on your baby. And that's what happened with me, because I went off social media. Like, there's a whole 7-month gap in my
We
social
normally
media.
say that when someone has disappeared on Instagram,
Yeah.
it's 90% chances are
Yeah.
look at you like, yeah.
Bele.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I took a break because...
just focus on your kid.
Yeah,
Plus,
and there
it's
are so
not
many
at the
things
end of the
happening.
world. Yeah. Just focus on that, and then you'll just get back.
And I feel that's what... Because I tell, like, if somebody doesn't know I'm a mom, and I tell them I'm a mom, they're like, what? How? It's because I took time to embrace everything as it came. The pain, the overweightness, the lactation, the licking milk and staining your dress, smelling like milk, looking a hot mess. I embraced all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I knew it wasn't for forever. You
Yeah,
get?
it's just for a couple of nini, and then,
Yeah, and after that you'll be back. So when I felt my baby was, old enough, I started going to the gym kidogo, just getting back to who I was. Because now I felt my baby is good. Like, she's straight. She's 100.
She's good.
Yeah. So now we can move together with her.
And I think, like, just having, at this time when you're taking care of the kid, like, now are you doing it alone, or parents were there?
My family really, really helped. My family, my mom, my dad, my sisters.
Because like your mom, she already knows, like, what
Yes.
this means.
So after I had my baby, by then we'd moved in with my daughter's dad. So my mom came, got me and took me home to like
just stay with me for a while.
They took care of me for 2 months. They fed me. They made sure my wound was being cleaned and things like that. So I also feel like having a good support system is a plus.
It is important. It is.
Yeah, that's the second thing. The first point is no pressure.
Because even I think,
and the second point is a good support system.
Because I think even at that point, as much as just you're not with your hubby taking out your frustrations from him to him, when there's actually nothing he can do. Because at times you might look at him like, you can't even do anything, but he's like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah,
Because I don't even
we
know.
went through that patch with
Yeah,
him.
I
Like, where I'd
don't know
always
what
be
I'm supposed-
angry at him
Yeah,
all the time.
exactly.
I'm looking at him. He's eating right. He's walking right. Me, I'm here walking like I'm circumcised.
It's like you're getting angry at him, but he's
even
like,
sleeping. He's snoring. I'm looking at this man.
how
even
can you
want to-
sleep? How can you
How
just sleep? And I'm
you know?
here in pain.
And that's something I know many women go through.
Yeah,
You know that.
yeah. I've heard people on the podcast who've said like that actually affected like their relationship.
It
So you
did. I
see-
think it did affect our
Did it?
relationship. But people heal from things.
How? Apart from that anger, was there a time you're like, by the way,
I make. No.
or did it get to that point? No, because you're talking of these frustrations, you're taking them out on someone.
Okay, yeah, it would get.
But
to a
like,
po-
how did you ever say
But
like,
you see,
how could you do this to me?
There's a point I went through that phase for, I did this by myself. I can do everything by
Yeah.
myself, But at the end of the day, when you become a parent, it's not about you. It's not about
It's not.
your
It's not.
individual thought. It's teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work.
True.
And when it comes to a baby, teamwork is mommy, daddy. The family is there, yes, but it's just...
And
Yeah.
it's really good to hear that because like it's so hard. You know how it is in Nairobi.
Yeah.
You rarely hear those stories of like it's not like you're married, like you got pregnant and you guys stuck through it. It's those stories are a bit rare. So I think even
Let me
for
tell you something.
my podcast, okay, tell me.
There's this millennial mom phenomena.
People are misguiding each other. Am I wrong?
Let me tell you, it's not about misguiding. We're living in a different era. Let me tell you, the motherhood experience with my
Yeah.
mom when she gave birth to me in 1993. There you go. There's my age. Oh my God, I just said it. The motherhood experience when my mom had me is not the same as the motherhood experience now.
It's not.
Nowadays, there's an influx of single moms. Why? Because women have a lot of financial freedom. See, kama kitambo, where a family would rely on, one income from a parent.
Okay.
Now, a mommy's salary will buy her house, a car, take care of a baby. It's come to that point where women are making a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true.
We have the avenues of side hustles. You can have $1 million.
fact.
The aspect of financial freedom is something that I feel has
It's affected
brought around
like
the
households.
it's affecting
And there's
households.
so many single moms in
Yeah.
Nairobi, so many that every time you meet someone and I
but
see a
also
kid,
think that
I immediately
that term
assume.
is being used very loosely, to
How?
be honest.
Which one?
Single mom. I think it's being used
Just define what you're saying.
Because let me tell you something,
Tell
John.
me.
I feel kama squeezy. There's, that Superman kind of structure. The woman with the red bandana and the
I
dead.
don't need a man. Or
That superwoman phenomena.
yeah.
I feel like that is the picture of the single mom. And I feel if people, these young girls would
You think
have...
it's being glorified to
Yes,
be a
I
single
feel
mom?
like it's being glorified. I don't know if I'm going to get backlash for this, but
No,
I feel
no.
like the single mom phenomena is being glorified. Okay, fine. Don't take any BS from man. Don't take any... But also, work through it. Mpaka mmefika mwisho. And you're like, you know what? This is the end of the world. I can't anymore. I feel like... Because I was talking with my mom the other day, and she said this. I'd say it in Kikuyu, but...
Just say it in
wanawake-
Kikuyu and then say
My
it in
Kikuyu is
Swahili.
not so good, but wanawake tunafanyanga tu hivi and you're out the door. Yani a small pinch. I don't remove my makeup. But a small,
Yeah.
a small pinch
Makes you leave, park
and you're
and
out
leave.
the door. Me, I won't lie to you, there are times I felt like that. But I look at the bigger picture. Okay, if I leave him, sindapatana tu na kama ni shetani mwingine na
It's another nigga just waiting to ruin your life.
You get. So
And
let me
wouldn't you
try.
rather somebody that you've gone through this nini with
Yeah.
and than some random now
And
stranger?
then let me tell you something else, John.
Tell me.
There are so many single mom influencers that make that life look.
Like it's
listen.
like- yeah.
That these single moms, you've been single, you've gone through your struggle, but now you've met your Prince Charming. The minute you're meeting your Prince Charming is when now you're putting the whole story on Instagram and you have a YouTube channel, but you didn't show us the struggle.
You didn't.
You didn't show us the struggle of when you parted ways with this man, the financial difficulties. You're showing us, darling, you can be a
Everything
single
is-
mom and still part this Prince Charming who's gonna love your baby. I mean, if that's what happened, if that's your story,
And it's
good
a whole
for you.
lie. But what are the chances of that, though?
Yeah,
If we're being real,
yeah,
what are the chances of that?
yeah. And I mean, it could happen to me. It could happen to any of us. I'm
Anyone.
not
Yeah.
negating the whole experience for anyone. It could happen to me. Yeah.
For me,
And it may turn out good, but I just feel like as ladies, as women, as young girls, they should be completely empowered and sensitized to all avenues, to look at all avenues, as opposed to, you know, being ingrained in this facade that's being represented on social media and YouTube and, you know, all this. Yes.
And I just respect and admire people who, like, I know it's not easy, but just people who still just put out that, at least that energy of like hubby, mother, and the kid. Because people need to see that. People need to see that.
People need to see everything.
Yeah, no, people need to see everything.
Yeah.
People need to see everything. But also, how unfair is it to like just your kid in general? People do assume like, I can do it like on my own race, but how does that affect the kid? It will affect the kid.
Yeah.
It will somehow. Wouldn't you just rather try? And even like just in this like influencer era, like don't misguide. Don't misguide people though.
Yeah.
Don't misguide people.
Yeah. Very,
It's
very
tricky.
true.
It's tricky, but I think you're doing a good job of at least just telling those two stories.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that, because that's what caught my attention. Like, I think I saw your picture on the homepage thing. I was like, who is this?
I think
Who is this?
I used to follow you like when I was in uni.
What?
In
And
your
then what the fuck?
days.
What the fuck happened?
No, I used to follow like by then there are not so many people.
Okay, first
on the
of all,
scene.
let me see if I follow you. First of all, you know.
So I used to follow you, and then
I
I used to see you like, you know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You
first
are
of all,
this
I don't even know what you're talking about.
most
but either
non-Kenyan
way,
person.
but let's do it. Let me see.
So like when I saw your DM, I was like, why is it Nani? Why is
this
it
guy's DMing me?
What's up?
Okay, who's this? Oh. Okay. No, just don't stop talking. I mean, there are people who are listening. I was trying to see, because I sent you a message. Did I send it with my page or with my Kiss Bandit
The
page?
Kiss Bandit page.
Okay, because I there's some people, when I'm trying to approach people, I do send that message.
The one.
Oh yeah,
that
I'm following you. Yeah, because at times I do send that message. If somebody's not interested, I just like it's our. Because like I said, I do get some assholes at times who just like, okay, he's sending me. There's something. Kwanza for me, when I send a message, it's like he's trying to holler at me. And I'm like, I mean, can't we just have a conversation?
Yeah.
Can we just talk and advise people on this and that? So I just appreciate, like, even for you, when I sent that message, like, you were just like, you give me feedback like almost immediately. And I was like, I think this is a cool person to actually just have a sit down with. And you just never know, like right now.
Exactly.
You might make a connection. There's some things you might do business-wise later, or at least just be friends anyway, right?
Yeah.
You just never know. But thanks for just sharing about. Is there anything else you want to drop about motherhood? Because I don't know. I've never. Or would you advise me to get someone pregnant?
Let me tell you something.
Tell me.
Let me tell you.
Tell me before I make a mistake or before I make something.
Do you have I think when it comes to finances, money can be made.
Yeah.
Kids are born in Rwanda. Kids are born in Kibera.
They still grow
Kids
up,
are born
right?
in Madare. They're born in Langata. They still grow up.
Yeah.
I feel with parenting, it's 60% of your mental and your mental strength as opposed to your financial.
Really?
I feel
I can
like
get
that's
10 people pregnant by the end of the year, eh?
Come on, if you can deal with all that stress. You better warm up.
But you've said finance. Okay, finance can always be made, right?
And I mean, the South is all said, kila mtu uzaliwa na sahani yake.
So do I get someone pregnant or no? Tell me.
Are you ready to deal with
Yes
the stress that comes with it?
From the baby mama or the baby mamas or the baby mama?
Raising a child.
Is it hard?
Vitu kwa ground is different.
That says it all.
Vitu kwa ground. They're very different.
It's hard.
It's
because kind of like every move that
hard,
you do have to
like
put your
everything
kid
else
into
in life,
consideration.
it's a task. You know,
Yeah, you
it's
can't be
something-
reckless.
Yeah, you can't be reckless. It's something you feel like, you know. There's sometimes I have, you know, there's something called mom guilt. You've heard
What's
of it?
that? What's that?
It's the guilt that comes from, you know, doing everyday activities or activities you'd have done before you had your baby, and now you feel that you're taking something from your child by doing those things. For example, may I go out? I wouldn't like to. I go out to the club, but maybe because the next morning I'm hungover. And I'm like, why did I go? I'd have been spending time with my baby.
Yeah.
You know, you take a job that maybe you travel around the world. You're in SA where you're like, you know, why did I take this job? You know, I'd be spending time with my baby. I'm
Yeah.
a bad mom. You know, that especially mothers, we go through that a lot. Yeah, and that mom guilt is a downfall for so many ladies, because you end up not achieving your dreams. You know, you end up not living your full potential. Yeah, because of that. And I think it's just something we should be doing away with. Yeah, mom guilt is. You shouldn't have mom guilt. Don't have mom guilt. You do you. As long as it's not adversely affecting your baby
Yeah.
is straight, your baby is good.
Do it.
No, yeah, you know, you also have to live your life. That's another thing about motherhood, and why people are so scared of becoming moms, or when they hear the idea of becoming a mom when you're young, they feel like, you know what, it's the end of my life. You know, I cannot be me anymore. I can't be this amazing woman I once was, which is a lie. If anything, you can be more amazing, because now you're amazing with this little person.
You're growing up together,
Yeah, you're
sharing.
growing up together. And also, I say that when you become a mom, you're setting an example for this little person, be it a boy or girl, of what life should be and what life should look like. You understand? You don't show them, you know, because I had you, my life had to stop. You know, I had to raise you and
you
be there.
ripped me off my youth and everything.
When I had you, I had to take care of you, and also I had to achieve my dreams and do all these things that, you know, would make me happy, would fulfill me. Sad that, you know, that when I also have my kid, you know, it's just a
And
continuation
that will
of life.
make that's trickling down bad energy to your kid, man.
Exactly.
It will just
And you
start
see,
showing off.
the things people don't understand about kids, don't argue around your baby, don't argue around your
see,
kids, don't call each other names, because they read that energy. It's not even a joke.
Forget even about that. At times you see what people are doing online and they have kids, but you're like, you don't even understand, like, your kid will have to deal with these
All I say,
things.
it's a different era.
Yeah, but that's the unfortunate part, especially with social media. Because sana kidogo with hubby, there you've posted all his receipts online.
I'm telling you.
Forgetting that these things will be there forever. Your kid
The
will
internet
have to
never
deal.
forgets.
Yeah, the kid will have to deal with that.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but hey, you just have to deal with the new era. Do you think you'll have another
Yes. Me, let me tell you, if I could right
How
now,
soon?
I'd be pregnant. Right now,
What?
as we speak, I'd be pregnant if I could.
kid? Yeah.
But clearly I can't. But me, I want many kids. Like, I don't know.
How many? How many
Five.
is enough? I want 5 kids. Your baby daddy is a very happy person, because at times you just hear people saying like, maybe it's one. Those people who
God
say
bless
one,
me with
but I'm
the
like,
financial ability, because me, I want 5 kids.
you'll get there. You'll get there. You'll get there.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Those people who say one, okay, like, Mazi, the kid will be lonely in the house. Say if you both travel, Ama you want to, the kid is always in the house just playing with who now?
Yeah.
The house help.
I know, eh?
Hapana. At least even 2 is a few. But even for me,
How many are you?
if I had financial ability, this Nairobi, skirts hazingepumua. Hey, but it's just like, okay, let me get my shit together first, because I also would want to at least be able to provide the basics, just at least consistently. Yeah. Your kid starts enjoying something kidogo, and then now baby mama is there like, when you got me pregnant, you can't even take care of like one simple thing. You had one job to do, and you can't even do it.
Then the other thing I talked about, no pressure, a good supportive system. The other thing I'd add is the idea of not having expectations, not having certain levels. I mean,
From who?
it's normal to have expectations, but maybe from your husband, if it's your husband, if it's your baby daddy or who not. People put pressure on these men. It's not a lie. Like, you want to give birth because umeona nani amepewa push inaitwa push gift, push present on IG. Unataka push gift, unataka sijui gari, sijui nini. There are all those funny expectations you expect. When you give birth, he'll buy you a car, or he'll buy you a house.
And then
Just take
those
it
things don't
easy.
happen after you've given
it
birth.
just adds on top of it. Adds
No,
to the
be
stress
stressed
and
out.
pressure of the postpartum experience. You get? So it's some of these things we just need to be realistic as mummies.
So for young moms who are like just, or maybe somebody who's watching and listening right now and they just got pregnant, what advice would you give them?
They got pregnant under circumstances. A young mom who's got. Number one is try find a good support system. And there's some of us who, like, when we get pregnant, our families are not there. There are apps that give support, like counseling apps, like on your phone. Like
an app on your phone?
Yes, there are apps on phones. I'd name them, but I'm not so sure. But there are so many, like, counseling and counselor
that can help you.
Find a friend. There's always somebody, even if it's that mama mboga po inje, there's always somebody who is willing to give you an ear. And willing to give you advice. So that's what I'd say. Don't usijifungie kwa nyumba, because there's a time I did that.
That's
especially
dangerous,
in my last 3
all,
months of pregnancy. I was in the house, curtains closed. I didn't want to wake up. It wasn't a good time. So talk. And number 2, know that it's going to get better. Now it seems like it's the end of the world. It seems like you have no one. It seems very lonely, but it's going to get better. You just have to keep on telling yourself that every day when you wake up, it's going to get better, it's going to get better, it's going to get better. Number 3, know that you are the author of your story. You understand?
Yeah.
You're the one who has the pen for your life. Like, are you going to come out a victor or are you going to come out a loser?
Hey.
Are you? Like, choose.
Yeah, you decide.
Me, I like winning all the time. I like being on 100 all the time. So you decide.
You decide.
And I think we'd go with the first one rather than the latter.
True.
Yeah? Do you want to be a winner or do you like... Exactly. And the other point is... what else would I like to tell the young moms? Achaneni na hii mambo ya social media.
Yeah.
Go read articles and things online.
It can misguide you.
Realistic articles. Sisi mtu amepost sijui pregnancy baby bump shoot sijui ako wapi sijui what nonsense.
Just connect with people who have real stories. Don't, because I think people like lean towards like a fantasy world. So easy. Like the social media makes people just forget.
In as much as the fantasy world will be extremely comforting in this moment,
it's not.
Please don't lean towards it. Try be as realistic as possible, please, my love. Try be as realistic as possible. Yeah.
Nice.
Do you have anything else I want to say?
No, because I did. Because the funny thing is like because our target was like an hour. We've done an hour, but you see, we've tiptoed on everything else, and like we've talked about everything that comes with health, wealth, love, and happiness during pregnancy, which was our during and after, like during our podcast session. Talked about exercising, eating right to provide, the right nutrients for your kid. What else can I ask about like this pregnancy before we wind up? Those people who use the machines or breastfeeding, which is advisable? I don't know, but I'm just asking in case I get people pregnant this year.
As long as your kid is well fed.
Yeah.
Kama anakunywa uji ile hapo ya nini pale Ngara, kama ana breastfeed na una pump na ile pump ya 25,000, kama una pump na ile pump ya 1,500, but your kid is well fed.
Yeah.
We all the same. That's what is important. It doesn't matter if your baby is taking papaya. Like the kids who are born, they can't breastfeed. They can't even take naan or what's not. So they end up taking porridge. But as long as your baby is well fed, your baby is growing every doctor's checkup appointment. Yeah. Your baby is weighing the right weight for their month. You're doing good.
You're good.
Yeah. And you're no better than this mother who is breastfeeding 30 times a day, or this mother who is... Yeah, as long as your baby is healthy. Yes.
Okay, I think we've touched on everything, and we can always do like a part 2 because, I'm just trying to keep it at 1 hour.
Yeah.
And then, like the thing about podcasts is that you can really go on and on. But we can always save like a follow-up interview or part 2, talk about other different things and just, follow up.
In general.
So before we close up the podcast, I only... ask one last question because it's just standard for all the guests that I have. What's the one thing that you think you're in pursuit of right now? If you got it, it will give you happiness better direction, better meaning in life,
Yeah.
and anything close to that. What's that one thing you're thinking in pursuit of?
I am in pursuit of learning the art of being content in the moment. That's something I'm really trying to learn.
Which is really hard if you think about it, yeah?
Being content in the moment and being hopeful of good things to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you're present
I feel,
there,
when you're not content with what you have and you're being your own worst enemy.
True.
In that moment.
True.
And you will not have peace of mind. Yeah?
True.
And you won't have the mental energy to work for things to come.
True.
Yeah. So for me, that's what I'd say. Being content in the moment and what I have. Yeah. So that's something I want to work towards this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mission 2020,
Mission
right?
2020.
So, just tell people where they can find you on social media. And is there anything else you have going on that you'd like to plug on the podcast?
Okay, hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I know I have. John has been such an amazing host. Yay!
Appreciate that.
I am on Facebook as Wangeci Ngare. I'm also on Instagram as __Wangeci __Ngare. Then I have my business handle, which is the Glam Kitchen. I'm also on TikTok as Wangeci Ngare, so you can find me on those platforms. Yeah, I think I'll have a YouTube soon. I'm a bit afraid of that realm.
No, but like you've said, you're trying to show off your personality a bit. And imagine it's not that hard, but just be yourself.
Be yourself.
If you be yourself,
nothing better.
Yeah, people who fake it, you see, like they do it, there's views and everything, and then after a couple of months, they can't keep up with the facade, of course.
Nema, it's very true.
Yeah. So otherwise, guys, you know the drill. Thank you so much for coming to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
I wish you nothing but the best in
much.
everything that you're trying to achieve this year and in the future. And guys, if you're listening, you know the routine. Hit that subscribe button. We're in all social media platforms: iTunes, Spotify, Castbox, Instagram, Facebook, and where else? I think I've mentioned everything. So make sure you follow her. If you need any advice, just reach out to her. She can guide you in a thing or two of the subject matters that we've actually talked about. Keep supporting us, and it's the Kiss Capadespodcast. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.